So get this picture, a place, okay, where you've got these dramatic mountains just plunging right into the ocean, beaches, sparkling beaches, and there's like this delicious history just waiting around every corner. And no, it's not a fantasy novel. We're talking Azeitão, Portugal.
Beautiful.
And based on, well, the sources you've got here, a mix of travel blogs, even some real estate reports, and a deep dive into their local cheese scene.
You really did your research.
Well, it seems like you're after more than just like a quick glance at this place.
Absolutely. You want to uncover the real Azeitão.
Right.
Those hidden gems most tourists completely miss.
You know me too well.
No.
So one thing that immediately jumped out from these articles, right, is this whole royal playground thing.
Oh, yeah.
And, we're not talking like a swing set here. We're talking Azeitão was the summer escape for, like, actual Portuguese royalty.
Kings and queens.
Kings and queens, exactly. Yeah. Practically elbowing each other out of the way for the best views.
It's true. And this wasn't just them finding a random patch of land. Owning a quinta, basically a grand estate in Azeitão, that was a statement.
Oh, I bet.
Like, take King Don Juan III, for example. He had his quinta fresca, and guess what? That choice echoes even today in the village of Vila Fresca.
Wow.
And then you have Dona Constança with her Quinta da Nogueira, now remembered in the name Vila Nogueira. It's incredible.
Wow. So their summer vacations basically put these villages on the map. Talk about a legacy. That kind of makes you wonder, though, what happened to all those incredible estates?
Right.
Speaking of which, one source mentioned Morpho real estate. Are we talking like modern-day castles for sale?
It's fascinating, isn't it? And this wasn't just about finding a nice view, These rail retreats, they were strategically chosen. Azeitão's proximity to Lisbon, which was the seat of power, definitely made it attractive.
Makes sense.
Plus, imagine the prestige. Owning land in such a coveted spot.
It's all about location, 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 even for royalty. But it wasn't just about owning the land, was it? These royals, they went all out when they built their palaces.
Absolutely. And those palaces, they tell a story.
Oh, I bet.
Take the Palacio da Quinta de Bacaloa, for instance. It wasn't just a residence. It was a symbol. Power, wealth.
Right.
Or the palace built by the Dukes of Aveiro. Even their name just screams history. And here's a fun fact. Some of those grand estates, they're now charming inns.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that you can actually sleep like royalty.
Okay, you've sold me. The history, the chance to live like royalty. Yeah. But let's be honest. No vacation, especially not mine, is complete without some jaw-dropping scenery. And Azeitão, oh boy, it definitely delivers on that front. Especially with the Serra da Rábida Natural Park.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about a place where the mountains literally meet the sea.
Wow.
Creating this breathtaking contrast. You have these rugged cliffs on one side and then pristine beaches on the other. It's easy to get lost in the beauty of it all.
Lost in a good way, I hope. I'm already picturing myself on beaches like Figueirinha, Galapagos, Portinho da Arábia. I'm getting those names right, aren't I?
You are. Those are them.
It's not every day you encounter beaches with such lyrical names.
They're very unique.
And did I read that right? There's this tiny island called Pedra da Anixa that's a dedicated zoological reserve. What's the story there?
You did. You're right about Pedra da Anixa. And, it's a fascinating example of how Azeitão values its natural wonders. But beyond those postcard-worthy views, right, the Serra da Rábida Natural Park is home to this rare and fragile ecosystem. It's called the Mediterranean maquis.
Okay.
And it's a very specific type of vegetation, incredibly important, and sadly, increasingly rare.
Okay, so we've got all this history and scenery that sounds absolutely unreal. But you know what else really makes a place come alive for me?
What's that?
The food. And based on what I'm seeing here, Azeitão is like a foodie paradise just waiting to be explored.
Oh, you are not wrong. Azeitão, and this whole region really, is known for its incredible culinary traditions. And it's not just, like, deliciousness for the sake of it. These flavors tell a story.
Oh, I like that.
A connection to the land and its history.
All right, lay it on me. What are the must-try dishes? And what's the story behind this famous Azeitão cheese?
Okay, get ready to have your mind blown.
Okay.
Because we're about to talk about cheese made with thistle extract.
Hold on, thistle, like the prickly plant.
You heard that right, thistle.
That's wild. Who looked at a thistle and thought, it would make a delicious cheese?
Right. It does sound a little strange. But this traditional method, it's actually what gives Queijo de Azeitão cheese its unique character. So instead of using animal rennet, they use an enzyme extracted from thistles. It's 100% vegetarian, and trust me, the taste is out of this world.
Okay, now I have to try this cheese. It's like a science experiment that you can eat. This is exactly the kind of quirky detail I love discovering. But it's not all about the cheese, right? What about those tarts and wines I keep hearing about?
Ah, yes. The perfect companions to that incredible cheese. And we can't forget about the wines, especially the ones made with the Paraquita grape.
Paraquita. That's a fun name for a grape.
It is, isn't it?
Is it just me, or does that just make you think of a, lighter, more playful wine?
It does have a certain ring to it. And while some wines made with Paraquita grapes can be on the lighter side, they're also known for their complexity and depth of flavor. It's all about how the winemakers, they use the grape's unique characteristics to their advantage. And then there's the Moscatel de Setúbal, which is this sweet dessert wine with a long and fascinating history. It's made using a unique process that involves interrupting the fermentation process, which results in this naturally sweet wine bursting with aromas.
Okay, you're speaking my language now. This sounds like the perfect way to end a meal in Azeitão. A cheese board with that thistle cheese, a glass of local wine, maybe even one of those tarts for good measure.
Don't forget the view.
Oh, you're right. Imagine, savoring all those flavors with the Serra da Arrábida as your backdrop.
Oh.
But speaking of, the scenery and incredible food, it makes you wonder about the other side of things, the real estate.
That's a great segue. Remember that Morpho real estate source? They're painting Azeitão as this incredible investment opportunity. And honestly, they might be onto something.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Close to Lisbon, easy access to the airport, stunning scenery, incredible food. It's like a developer's dream, but is it too good to be true?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Portugal's real estate market has been on a roll lately. And Azeitão, with its unique charm and location, it's definitely attracting attention. But as with any investment, it's crucial to, look beyond the glossy brochures and really do your homework.
So true. We've talked about the unique ecosystem in the Serra da Arrábida, the traditional cheese-making, the history. There's a delicate balance to maintain there. On the one hand, you want people to experience this amazing place, but on the other hand, you don't want to lose what makes it so special.
Exactly. And that tension, that question of how Azeitão navigates its future, it's fascinating. It's like a microcosm of what so many places are grappling with, how to embrace growth and development while preserving the heart and soul of what makes them unique.
When we started this deep dive, I was thinking purely vacation mode, beaches, cheese, maybe a castle or two. But we've uncovered so much more than just a travel brochure, haven't we?
We really have. This is a place grappling with some big questions about its future.
It really is. And it's not just Azeitão, is it? It's like we're seeing this play out all over the world.
Yeah.
How do places with such, rich history, unique ecosystems, these vibrant cultures, how do they navigate the modern world?
It's a balancing act, for sure. You have the allure of tourism, investment, development. But on the other side of that, there's a responsibility.
Yeah.
To protect what makes Azeitão.
Right. And it's not about saying no to progress. It's about how do you make sure that progress, it aligns with the values, the essence of a place.
Exactly.
Like that cheese we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Made from thistle extract. It's not just a quirky detail, is it? It speaks to something more. Tradition, sustainability, this connection to the land, that's got to be worth preserving.
Absolutely. And it's not just about preserving the past in a museum or something. It's about recognizing those traditions, those unique elements, and finding ways to carry them forward.
So as Azeitão grows and evolves, will it be able to hold on to those traditions? Will we still be talking about these thistle-infused cheeses generations from now? Will those palaces still be standing as these testaments to a fascinating past?
Those are the big questions.
Yeah.
And those are the questions we'll leave you with today. As you think about Azeitão, think about this. What will its legacy be? What will future generations inherit? Will it become just another, trendy tourist destination? Or will it find a way to chart a course that honors its past while embracing its future?
It's a story that's still being written.